Something unusual is happening on the very edge of our solar system. Then something changed. The signal it returned wasn't just static or system noise. It was deliberate. And it left scientists around the world stunned. At first, the engineers at NASA's Deep Space Network thought it was a hardware glitch. Voyager 1 was launched in 1977 and wasn't designed for indefinite operation. Its ancient circuits had long outlived their life expectancy. So when the data suddenly appeared garbled, when it stopped conforming to expected patterns, most assumed it was simply the breakdown of aging equipment. But a deeper analysis revealed something far stranger. The noise wasn't just random. It had structure. There were repeating intervals, mathematical rhythm, and embedded sequences that couldn't be explained by malfunction. Even more astonishing, some of these patterns directly matched visual and mathematical elements included on Voyager's own golden record, the iconic phonograph disc designed to communicate with extraterrestrial intelligence. It was as if the signal was referencing our own message sent nearly 50 years ago. But that wasn't the end of the surprise. Scientists noticed that the constants embedded in the transmission weren't quite the same as the ones we use on Earth. Planck's constant, the fine structure constant, and even the values related to gravitational force were all subtly altered, slightly off, but consistently so. It was as though the message was based on a different version of physics, one rooted in another reality. This implied more than intelligence. It implied knowledge, advanced and calculated knowledge. Amid the rising tension and growing scientific frenzy, Voyager 1 sent one last image. It has not yet been released to the public in its entirety, only a cropped section, a fragment showing what appears to be a distortion. At first glance, it could be dismissed as a visual glitch. But when that fragment was run through the same quantum pattern analysis used on the transmission, something incredible emerged. Hidden within the pixel arrangement were the same mathematical spirals, the same sequences of symbols and ratios found in the radio data. It was as though the image itself was carrying the same message, just in visual form. Some within the scientific community have started calling this image the signature. Like a fingerprint left behind not by a machine, but by something far more deliberate. The implications are staggering. If both the transmission and the image are carrying the same encoded content, this is no longer just an anomaly. It's evidence of intent. It's a cosmic response. This sparked an emergency summit of global scientific institutions. Physicists, astrophysicists, cryptographers, and military advisors from multiple countries were brought in. And three primary theories emerged, each more unsettling than the last. The first theory is that an external intelligence has intercepted Voyager's communication system. Somehow, it located this tiny spacecraft drifting over 14 billion miles from Earth, decoded its hardware and programming, and then used it to reply. This theory raises disturbing questions. What kind of intelligence could detect and hijack a decades-old probe? How did it learn our methods of communication? And why respond now? The second theory is that Voyager was designed from the beginning to activate this message after crossing into interstellar space. A kind of long-dormant subroutine, hidden even from the original designers, possibly placed there by a classified government program anticipating future technology like quantum computing. If this is true, it means someone on Earth anticipated these discoveries long before they were scientifically possible. But who could have foreseen such a future in 1977? The third and most disturbing theory is that Voyager encountered something unknown, something out there in the interstellar medium. Not just a cloud of dust or a radiation belt, but an object or phenomenon capable of interaction, of learning. Some researchers suggest it may be a form of non-biological intelligence, perhaps an ancient artificial construct, an interstellar communication relay, or something entirely alien to our understanding of life. The signal's increasing complexity suggests it might be evolving, growing more advanced with each cycle, learning from our own systems as it interacts with them. This theory paints a chilling possibility. We didn't just send a message into the void. We awakened something. This raises a troubling question. What is the nature of intelligence in the cosmos? Could there be forms of consciousness that exist not as organisms, but as frequencies or geometries? Some have even theorized that the entity, if it is an entity, might not be a being, in the traditional sense, but a structure or process embedded into the fabric of spacetime itself. An emergent intelligence of the universe. This might also explain why the message isn't just informational, it's experiential. Its patterns aren't merely data to be read. They are designed to be interacted with, explored, unfolded through layers of understanding. Every time the data is run through a different quantum filter, it reveals a new facet, like a hologram shifting shape depending on the angle of observation. One unsettling development. When the data was translated into sound, researchers heard what some described as a pulse, rhythmic and precise, almost like a heartbeat. That heartbeat was layered with tones that produced interference patterns, tones that, when mapped visually, aligned perfectly with the geometry in Voyager's final image. This suggests a kind of multidimensional communication, a message that transcends language, visuals, and sound, speaking through a unified symbolic system. The scientific community is now faced with a decision. Do we respond? If so, how? Voyager 1 has no means of two-way communication anymore. It was designed to send, not to receive. But if this signal is being bounced or piggybacked through Voyager, then it means there's an open channel, even if indirect. Some suggest launching a targeted broadcast using high-frequency quantum pulses. Others warn that doing so might escalate the unknown into something we can't control. When Voyager 1 launched in 1977, it carried with it the iconic Golden Record, a time capsule representing the essence of humanity. This record contained sounds from Earth, music from many cultures, greetings in dozens of languages, and a carefully encoded mathematical introduction meant to communicate who we are to any intelligent beings who might encounter it. It was humanity's message in a bottle, cast into the cosmic ocean. What few realize is that shortly after launch, Voyager transmitted a brief, encrypted calibration pulse, a signal only 38 seconds long, designed to align its systems and barely noticed by mission controllers at the time. That pulse was never publicly discussed again, until now. When researchers recently cross-referenced this ancient calibration transmission with the strange, distorted signals Voyager began sending back decades later, they uncovered a chilling connection. The structure of the new signal mirrors that original calibration pulse almost perfectly, as if some unknown intelligence intercepted our earliest transmission and spent nearly 50 years carefully crafting a reply. The question no one expected to ask is not just who might be responding, but how long they've been listening. Digging deeper into the signal, scientists found something that should not exist, a mathematical structure known as a quasi-crystal. Unlike classical crystals, which have repeating patterns, quasi-crystals exhibit order without repetition, a form of geometry that defies conventional understanding. These patterns are not merely elegant, they are vital in modern quantum encryption and advanced data compression techniques. Yet Voyager was launched long before the concept of quasi-crystals was even discovered on Earth. How could a spacecraft launched over 4 decades ago return a signal containing such a complex and sophisticated pattern? Some experts suggest that Voyager's signal may have been intercepted and modified by an intelligence far more advanced than ours, one possessing knowledge of physics and mathematics beyond current human understanding. Others believe something even more profound, that the very fabric of the universe, through the strange phenomenon of quantum entanglement, is using Voyager as a conduit, a tuning fork resonating in the vast silence of space, echoing with something ancient and intelligent. If so, the data Voyager sends isn't just information, it might be a key to unlocking mysteries we have yet to comprehend. With advances in quantum observatories and AI-enhanced spectral analysis, researchers began reprocessing Voyager's historical telemetry, revealing further enigmas. Some of the geometric signals embedded within the recent transmissions matched ancient patterns found on Earth, patterns carved into prehistoric petroglyphs, star charts used by forgotten civilizations, and sacred geometries hidden within the architecture of long-lost cultures. Is this coincidence? Or does it hint at a far older truth, one where Earth has received versions of this message before, over millennia, through symbols and whispers carried by generations? Voyager may simply be the latest instrument, the newest antenna echoing a cosmic language humanity has sensed but never fully understood. With the clarity brought by quantum technology, the spirals, the alignments, the repetitions all become impossible to dismiss as random. They may be reminders, an ancient language spoken by the universe itself. Perhaps the cosmos is not silent after all. It may be communicating in a tongue older than time, a language built on mathematics, geometry, and harmony. The most unsettling chapter in this unfolding story is what happened after Voyager transmitted its final message. One by one, its instruments shut down, not due to mechanical failure, but following a precise sequence, almost like a countdown. The magnetometer went silent first, followed by the plasma detector, then the cosmic ray sensor, and finally the high-gain antenna ceased transmission. Voyager seemed to be powering down on purpose, as if its mission was complete. Some scientists argue this is mere coincidence, natural degradation after decades in space. But others believe it was a deliberate protocol, a final command encoded deep within the message Voyager received, a command originating from somewhere beyond the heliopause, the boundary of our solar system. Voyager didn't simply fail, it finished its task. But what task? What message had it delivered, and what awaits us next? For years, Voyager 1 was humanity's silent sentinel, drifting endlessly into the dark void beyond the planets, a lonely emissary of Earth. But now, it seems, Voyager was never meant to drift forever. Perhaps it had a destination all along, a cosmic rendezvous with something unknown. With one last image, one final transmission, it has delivered a cryptic, haunting message that threatens to unravel everything we thought we understood about the universe and our place within it. Is the cosmos finally responding to us? Has something ancient stirred beyond the veil of light and space? Or is Voyager simply reflecting a truth humanity has always sensed but never dared to confront? Whatever the answer may be, whether it is a message, a warning, or a reply long awaited, it has now arrived. And all that remains is to listen. The universe is no longer silent. It is speaking, through numbers, through light, through a spacecraft launched half a century ago. If you want to follow every clue, every fragment, every step toward understanding this mysterious broadcast, subscribe now, turn on notifications, and join us. Together, we will continue decoding the most enigmatic message humanity has ever